6 o'clock right here on Big Breakfast. Today FM, today's hit music.
Hey, I'm Pauline.
And I'm Alan. Tune in to the Breakfast Show on Today FM with Pauline and I every weekday morning.
From 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
Today FM, today's hit music.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Akosita Tale. In this bulletin tonight, Fiji plans to lead the Pacific climate change fight in Paris. Australian team conducts open heart surgeries. And growth potential for cruise liner visits. Fiji will lead a delegation of Pacific Island nations to Paris in France for the Global Climate Summit in December. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama made the announcement at the second Thailand Pacific Island Countries Forum in Bangkok yesterday. Ritika Pratap reports.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says Pacific Islands can't address the issue of sustainable development without considering the threat posed by climate change. Bainimarama says Fiji and other nations want to form a coalition to pressure countries which are not taking climate change seriously. He has challenged affected states to start preparing now, as the Global Climate Summit will be one of the turning points in history. The Prime Minister adds the island nations are victims of climate change and the excesses perpetrated by the industrialized nations, and that the Pacific way on climate change needs to become the world way before it's too late. Some members of the European Union have committed themselves to a 40% cut in carbon emission by 2030. Thailand has proposed a 3-year partnership with the Pacific Island countries at the forum, covering 11 areas of cooperation, including agriculture, fisheries, tourism, renewable energy and community development. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
A 35-year-old man who was hit by a taxi in Asinu 3 days ago died in hospital. The victim was allegedly hit by a taxi driven by a 27-year-old at a crossing in 4 miles and passed away at the CWM hospital yesterday afternoon. The driver is expected to be questioned soon. The road death toll currently stands at 28 compared to 24 for the same period last year. Meanwhile, the driver who is alleged to have caused an accident in Olosara, Singatoka that landed 4 people in hospital is yet to be questioned. The status of the 4 passengers involved remain the same. In another incident earlier last week, the 3-year-old child who was allegedly hit by a vehicle in Yako along the Queen's Road remains admitted in hospital. A medical team from Australia will be conducting open heart surgeries in Fiji over the next few days. Before the team goes full swing tomorrow morning, it was paid a visit by the Minister for Children, Rosie Akbar. Shanal Sivan reports.
The majority of patients that these doctors will operate on are children, some just a few months old.
We have been building up with the Children's Heart Foundation, and we were told that there are many children in the country that need such treatment. And we are very grateful for the team, the International Heart Foundation team all the way from Australia. And after my discussions with them, we are really grateful to them, and they are actually owed by the facility that we have here at CWM.
The specialist team from the Heart Foundation in Australia will be operating on 26 children, many of them needing open heart surgeries. As the surgeries are conducted at the Colonial War Memorial Hospital, local staff, including doctors and support staff, are being trained at the same time. While their primary focus is children, the doctors have included some adults as well.
One thing I can assure the parents who are actually at the hospital, that we have a team of very dedicated and professional cardiac pediatric team from Australia who are carrying out the operation here. All these operations are basically free for the parents, and please be rest assured that your children are in good hands.
The minister says there are funds available for parents who need their children treated.
So we have funds available for the treatment because from our initial data and talks with them, there are many families who are not able to fund these operations. And we are indeed grateful for the team who are here to operate on our children.
Out of the 26 patients, 3 children have been identified to be immediately evacuated to India. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
There's been a significant increase in cruise liner visits to Fiji and the Pacific in the last 3 years. A report from the South Pacific Tourism Organization confirms that cruise liners hold potential if we can overcome some of the existing barriers. Julie Vatualuali reports.
Cruise liners will visit 127 different Pacific destinations this year compared to just 78 in 2012.
And what we've noticed from 2012 to 2015, cruise shipping in Pacific Island countries grew by 55%. And that's a capacity of about 486,000 cruise passenger capacity coming into the region. That's almost about an increase of about 186,000.
With this new market, the South Pacific Tourism Organization has identified some steps that we need to take to better accommodate cruise liners.
They need to be fed with good information on what are the cruise ships wanting, what are the challenges that they find, and also what are the kind of key activities that the island destinations need to put together so that they can provide a good product that will attract these cruise ships coming to the island countries.
For Fiji, which expects about 81 cruise liners this year, there needs to be some work to be done at the wharfs, including capacity growth.
We do not have the facilities for the big cruise ships, but whilst we can accommodate the smaller ships from 1,000 to like 2,500 passengers in here, there needs to be a lot of improvement done on the ground in terms of port safety and port security, and also getting how do you mobilize or organize the offloading and boarding of passengers on the ports.
Suva will get the most cruise ship visits this year with 40 calls, 22 vessels with call at the Lautoka Wharf, and Port Denara will receive 19 cruise liners. The SPTO is working on a development strategy that will cater for the needs of the industry with the support of the European Union. Julie Vatualuali, FBC News.
A call for written submissions has been extended to members of the public on the National Flag Protection Bill 2015, Employment Relations Amendment Bill 2015 and Coat of Arms Bill. Submissions need to be made to the Standing Committee on Justice, Law and Human Rights. After deliberations, the committee will have to report back to Parliament during the July sitting. Persons or organizations who wish to express their views need to lodge written submissions to the address the Chairman, Standing Committee on Justice, Law and Human Rights, PO Box 2352, Government Buildings, Suva. All submissions need to be sent before 12th June 2015. Coming up, we meet the man behind one of Nosori's oldest and most successful supermarket businesses.
Ya bina pwede mwana topa chukuma ini mwasi kama kwa Bula FM namba ndiwa ina seri na ngona ni ndende manda kei Central Rental Sapo peke na kusuma kukita minichi meba na koloko. Ni Sabula.
Oya wa wati soni dalai.
Gonga ya mwasi domi.
Nama kikirau mena tolu kene bitu. Ena via kabi moliti kena kwa rombuka.
Gori ana lali ne kabi. Bula FM namba ndiwa ina seri.
Welcome back. The high demand for fresh fish from Viti level consumers is cutting into supplies and affecting prices at the Lambasa fish market. Fish vendors in Lambasa now prefer to do business with clients on Viti level. Chanel Sivan reports.
Empty tables are becoming a familiar sight for many who buy fish regularly at the fish market in Lambasa. While bad weather is one of the reasons for low fish supplies, vendors now have a lucrative market, especially for A-grade fish on Viti level.
We got some buyers in Suva, because usually the fish from Lambasa are all sold in Bailey Bridge and some in supermarket. Because the price in Suva is a bit more higher than in Lambasa.
In this business I have been in 12 years gone. Before it was a profitable, but now we can't get more. But we not getting the good price in the fish market.
Vendors like Rakoso rely on the sale of fish to meet their daily needs.
Our own fish market is made from our own money. But we know that government of the day is a good government. He will look at us and give us what we want, because these are main source for the school children. We are not from Lambasa especially. We are from other villages like in Bua, Raketi, some from Namuka, some from Sabsabu.
Bella Motosiri, who sells fish parcels at the Lambasa market, says fish shortage is also a problem.
If there's no fish, we'll buy it $7.50 for the sila, and walu we're buying for $10.50.
So does that affect your
yeah,
profit?
it affects the profit.
As long as there is high demand from Vitilevu, fish sellers in Lambasa know they will be able to meet the local demand. For consumers, it could mean looking for fresh fish supplies from other parts of Vanuatu. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Fiji Military Forces Commander Brigadier General Mosese Tukitonga says while there is no professional counselor to address post-traumatic stress disorder from tours of duty, soldiers are counseled. Thousands of soldiers have served on missions overseas, including war-torn areas like Lebanon and Iraq. Most of the counseling services relate to family issues as the soldiers readjust to life back home.
But we've got help from our professional counselors at USB and other religious organizations that have the expertise to do so.
Fijian soldiers have been serving in UN missions since the mid-1970s, with the first deployment to Lebanon. The search for the next young woman to represent Fiji at this year's Miss World contest has begun. Young women between the ages of 17 and 24 years who have a passion to represent Fiji on the world's largest beauty platform are being invited to attend the Miss World castings. Auditions will be held at Tapu City in Suva this Saturday, with the national final in July in Pacific Harbour. The 65th Miss World 2015 will take place in Sanya, China. All contestants must be single and be Fiji citizens. After 8 years of begging on the street to support himself and his family, 26-year-old Avikash Chand has been given the biggest break in his life. Chand, who is partially visually impaired, has been offered work at the Ministry for Women as a clerical officer. Julie Vatuwalwali has the story.
This office surroundings a far cry from the days Avikash Kumar spent on the streets of Lautoka begging to make ends meet.
I felt also very proud of myself, as the ministry has given me an acceptance to join the ministry, and now I am feeling that I have got a place in the society.
Kumar, who is affectionately known as Avi, grew up wanting to be a lawyer. He was unable to pursue his dreams because of financial difficulties. All that could change though.
I can also lift up my head and live a normal life as a normal individual does into the society, and become a role model and a living model for many out there.
The Minister for Women, Rosie Akbar, hopes Avikash will be able to put some of his earnings aside and study further to become a lawyer. For now, Avi is grateful for having a job, and he is prepared for any challenges, knowing that he has been given a second chance at life. Julie Vatuwaliwali, FBC News.
This is a story of a man who built his business from scratch and now owns a chain of supermarkets. Tara's Milk Bar and Supermarket is one of the oldest stores in Osori, dating back to the 1980s, and provides services to the 3 provinces of Rewa, Naitasiri and Tailevu. This week in our successful Fijian segment, we profile the man behind the business and show you just how he's managed to expand. Alan Stoltz has the story.
Mahendra Patel is no stranger to the people of Nosori. His hard work has earned him the respect of the people who've been customers of his for decades.
And I have started my business somewhere in 1983 with a very small shop with help of my mother. Then we grew. We bought our first property in town, which has been rented at the moment.
Patel's ambitions have not only kept his family business going, but also expanded into other ventures.
At the moment, we got 4 commercial properties and 6 residential, which are all been rented by government. government rented out, and you are in the one of the new property which we renovated and had very good facilities of shopping mall, which is in main town of Nasuri, which also helps the people of Nasuri for shopping at the late hours and early in the days.
He's even become a keen investor in real estate.
For going to the other properties like commercial blocks, like having flats in Nasuri. It's already in pipeline. I think it might be starting by 2 months' time now.
Patel arrived from India in 1972 and brought with him a can-do attitude, hard work and treating people right.
Maybe they are with very old friends of mine. Maybe when I was still young, I've seen them and I'm sitting in the front and helping them up. And they still like my words and faithful service to them.
He has built strong friendships with people in his community and believes anyone, especially the Itauke community, are more than capable of doing the same.
They can do, with the help of the Koro people, Matangali people, cooperatives are there. There's a lot of help from government too even. If they manage it well, they can grow. And I hope they can do.
It has not always been easy, but Patel believes that success doesn't come easy and that his family contributed significantly towards his success.
You have to work hard, stay with family. The unity is very important with your family, and your investment should be right. And I think you can manage it.
His business provides 35 jobs, but with expansion over the last couple of months, he is looking to hire more people soon. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Coming up in sports, the Fiji under-20 side brushes up on their game before opening World Cup match against Germany tomorrow.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. Beautiful song from the group Firehouse and When I Look Into Your Eyes. Before that, you heard from Smokey Robinson with One Heartbeat. We'll take a short break and join us in the next hour for more music from Seal. Bulabanaka. I'm DJ Tora. Join me every weekdays, 7 until midnight on the Premium Classics. Right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. A day remains before the Vodafone Fiji under-20 footballers face Germany in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. The side had its last training session this morning in Christchurch, New Zealand, and the team is now focused on the biggest game in the history of Fijian football. Indra Singh has more from Christchurch.
Come on, better than yesterday. It's the final countdown for the Fijian juniors as they prepare to face off with Germany tomorrow, and the mentor has hit the nail on the head of what the match holds.
As I've always maintained, it's a great experience for the boys. But tomorrow they're going to have to play the game of their lives. To be competitive and do well.
Locals turned up today to catch a glimpse at World Cup's new boys, and the feeling amongst the players is that they are ready to make their top-level debut a memorable one. Nerves and excitement will be the order of the night, and early tomorrow before the 1 p.m. kickoff.
And it's just excitement. And I think when you're so young, you don't realise anything else but the excitement of wanting to play. You don't. I think you go in there without a lot of fear because you're young and you just want to do well. And, I don't think there'll be too many sleepless nights tonight. But I'm sure they'll be talking about it and looking forward to waking up tomorrow morning.
The moment of truth for Fijian football has arrived. In less than 24 hours, Fiji takes on Germany in its first ever World Cup outing in football. This could be a defining moment for Fijian football and could set a pathway for future years and future teams to come. What will happen? What will be the result? What will be the scoreline? It is just a question right now, because by tomorrow afternoon we will know if Fiji has truly arrived on the world stage. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the team visited the venue where it will play Germany. The Christchurch Stadium, the home ground of the Crusaders Super Rugby team, will host 2 games tomorrow. The boys had a feel of what the pitch and facilities are like and what they will endure after kick-off. Tomorrow being a public holiday in New Zealand, a lot of fans are expected to fill the grounds. Fiji will take on Germany in its opening FIFA Under-20 World Cup match at 1 p.m. tomorrow, and you can watch it live on FBC TV. Nadroga Rugby is on a high in the Skipper Cup competition following their second round win over Naitasiri yesterday. The new man at the helm says although it is still too early to be making any predictions, he is focused on returning Nandi to the top of local provincial rugby. Chalenda Dakadaka has more.
Nandi's 21-16 victory over Naitasiri yesterday will not go unnoticed by opposing teams in the Skipper Cup competition. The Jet-Setters displayed moments of open rugby and stern defense to hand Naitasiri their first defeat this season.
We are doing our development this year for the boys. If you look at the players, some of the players are still under 20. We are doing the development, but they are very skillful players.
A lot of emphasis had been placed on improving their defense in the pre-season, and this was evident yesterday as they conceded only 1 try against the Highlanders.
We've been trying that for so long, our defensive pattern, but it works. It works, and we are using both sides from the pace play. When we have our defense, we use both sides for defensive lines.
Nandi will take a lot of positive notes from the match yesterday as they prepare to take on Vatukola next weekend. Silent Otokavak, FBC Sports.
Sevens wizard Waisile Serevi combined with former national skipper Setefano Takau helped CK Izibai Tamadamu win the Samoa Independence International Sevens title yesterday. Tamadamu thumped Apia Maroons 38-5 in the cup final. Also featuring for Tamadamu were former national reps Siti Veniwanga and Leo Naikasau. The Suva Bay side defeated Yamadia 10-5 in the semi-final. Nadroga Club Daveta, which had the services of former national sevens rep Waisiana Dungu, claimed the plate. The Nandi football side defeated Tailevu Naitasiri 2-1 to extend its lead in the Rewa Galaxy Football League standings. Tailevu Naitasiri scored the first goal from a penalty kick. Nandi fought back to score a goal in each half and recorded their 8th win in 11 matches. In other matches this afternoon, Lautoka defeated Lambasa 1-0 while Suva beat Rewa 2-1. Mari's Brothers High School and Swami Vivekananda College were crowned champions of the Fiji National School Swimming Champions in the boys and girls divisions respectively. Mari's topped the boys medal tally ahead of SVC and International School Suva. SVC managed to win the girls title ahead of J. Narayan College and International Secondary School. 47 records were broken during the 2-day meet. The competition serves as a qualifying event for Pacific School Games in Adelaide, Australia in November. Fine weather prevailed over most parts of the country today. A trough of low pressure lies slow moving over Tuvalu, Tokelau, Samoa, Niue and the Cooks. Meanwhile, a broad east to southeast wind flow prevails over most Pacific Island countries. Lambasa recorded the highest temperature at 32 degrees today, followed by Ba at 31 and Nandi at 30 degrees. Savu Savu recorded 27 degrees, while Suva was the coolest at 26 degrees. Forecast for tomorrow, cloudy periods with some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers. Further outlook, cloudy periods with some showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine. And recapping our top stories, Fiji will lead a delegation of Pacific Island nations to Paris, France for the Global Climate Summit in December. A 35-year-old man who was hit by a taxi in Asino 3 days ago died in hospital. And an Australian team of surgeons will be operating on 26 children, many of them needing open heart surgeries. To our poll question of the week, should there be stricter requirements for getting a driver license? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizensize@fbc.com.fj or share with us via our Facebook page FBC News, or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Makusita Tale. Good night.